If you know how to deliver great results for your clients, but you have no social proof at all yet, this video is for you. Because there's this moment every client goes through before they even talk to you. They check you out, like your DM landed, they find you somewhere, it doesn't matter, and they do the thing almost everyone does. They open your profile, they click your Instagram username, right? And in about 10 seconds, they decide whether you're worth any of their attention. Now, if you had case studies, that moment would have been easy, but you don't. So the real question is, what is the prospect supposed to believe about you in those 10 seconds? Most people answer that question with nothing, or they put something that adds absolutely no value to your profile, or even worse, they're faking that. And fake results that can be spotted from afar away. Basically a vague bio, some tool posts, a book calling, and then they wonder why every conversation starts cold. So I took a bit of my time and built something to finally fix this problem for you watching this. And here's exactly what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to show you the profile, the content, and the sale assets that help a cold prospect trust you before they have case studies. So not fake proof, not pretending you're bigger than you are. By the end, you'll exactly know what your bio, your pin post, your highlights, your content, and your next steps should look like. And you can fix most of them in just this week. Literally, like while you're watching this video, you can start fixing your profile. Another thing, you can just send me a DM on my Instagram. Like if you have any question, just go on Instagram, the Leo Trajkowski. I'll personally take my own time and I'll answer it to you so I can help you out. Like without gatekeeping or bullshitting, you know, just real straight value. So for quick context, if you are new here, in the last 2 videos I talked about why doing more outreach doesn't set you free and why being the best builder doesn't get you picked. But out of those 2 land in the same place. Because trust has to exist before the conversation starts. And every time I say that, I get a question something like, okay, I get it, but what should I do if I don't have case studies? And honestly, you should just fake it till you make it, is the answer I would give if I was an absolute idiot trying to sell my service. So please don't do that, you're not doing that. Like you won't outsmart your prospect. But yeah, that's the right question to ask, so let's take it more seriously from here. Start with a case study that actually helps the prospect. It answers questions quietly in the background. Like, can this person actually do this? Have they done it for someone like me? Do they understand my business? What would working with them look like? How risky is this? A case study is basically just a bundle of answers, and that's it. And the thing is, the prospect doesn't need the case study, they need the answers. So the case study is like one way to deliver those answers, but it's not the only way. Now watch what happens when those answers are missing. Picture the person you love as a client. Let's say she's running a med spa. This is an illustration, by the way. I'm not like sharing a client story right here. So your Loom or cold DM actually landed in her DMs. She's like half interested. She does the normal thing. She opens your profile and then she looks at your bio. A bio that says AI automation agency helping businesses save time. So 3 pin posts about the tool she's never heard of, a highlights full of workflows, screenshots, fake case studies, and 1 call to action in the bio saying book a call with a calendar link, of course, like every other person on Instagram right now. So nothing in there actually answers a single question she was slightly asking. So she doesn't reply. Not because like you're not skilled, because she checks you out and there's nothing for her to believe in. So that's the leak. So if your outreach works but your profile creates doubt, you leaked the opportunity. You did the hard part. You got the business owner to actually land and look, you got their attention, but there was nothing for them to stay. So here's the flip, the change that you should do if you want to make some cash. So please watch closely. If you don't have case studies yet, your profile and your content have to answer the trust question case studies would normally answer. So take notes from here because it changes what you build first. So you need to look bigger, you need to make it look easier for the prospect to believe that they can actually believe you. And there's a lot they can safely believe, that you understand their business, that you have a process, that you can spot what's broken, that you've already thought about the risks, that you're a sane human with judgment they want in the room. So case studies are just one form of proof, but taking an audit is proof as well. Like process is a proof. A breakdown is a proof as well. And you have access to every one of those today, like with 0 client proof, without social proof, without actually delivering any result for your clients. Which is why I'd like to say it like this. Do not build a content machine from the start, build a trust shelf first. Think of it like a series of content pieces, like series of content pillars, which will handle the social proof part first. A trust shelf is a small set of things that sit on your profile and answer prospects' questions around the clock. It's not about posting more, it's about handful of assets you build once and fix in place, and the content, the machine can come later. So the shelf is the first thing you should focus on. The shelf has 3 layers, and that's basically the rest of the video. I call it the no case study trust stack. So layer 1, you look legit, layer 2, you show you think, and layer 3, warm the buyer. So let's build each one. Layer 1 is the profile itself. So the prospect here is simple. Can I quickly tell who is this for, what they fix, and why should I believe them, and what should I do next? 3 things carry that: your bio, your highlights, and your pinned posts. So first one, the bio. It has 4 lines. Line 1, who you help. Line 2, the painful problem you fix. Line 3, the way you actually approach it. Line 4, an easy next step. Let's start with the shit bio so you know exactly what not to do. And hopefully I won't call you out on this one. And you probably have seen this bio like 100 times. AI automation agency helping businesses save time. DM me to automate your business. That answer is nothing. Like, who is it for? For everyone apparently. What exactly it does? Time somehow? Why should I believe you? No idea. And the next step is DMing a stranger, which is a big ask from someone with 0 reason to trust you. Now the better version, helping MathsPass fix consultant follow-ups, AI-assisted intake, booking, and reminder system. Built around your existing front desk workflow, start with missed consult checklist. So it has 4 lines, a specific prospect, a specific pain, an approach that sounds like a process instead of a magic, and a next step that costs nothing. Notice what the line 4 is not? It's not book a call. When trust is cold, a call is expensive. A checklist is cheap, so you should give something cheap first, and that's how you're gonna get their trust. So second, the story highlights. Highlights are not decoration, and they're not dump of every screenshot you've ever taken, and also they shouldn't represent your personal profile. So think of them as a menu of trust answers, something like this. You have this start here, you have problems I fix, how I diagnose, builds and teardowns, answers and questions, next step. You can also include something about like personal, like life, my life. A skeptical prospect can walk that row left to right with their questions handled without ever sending you a message. So that's the whole point. Like, highlights should answer trust questions, not show your lunch, and not bury someone in 40 slides of proof they should never tap through. Then we have third, the pinned posts. And by the way, if you can like choose at least one of these 3 things I mentioned here about making like your profile legit, please take the pinned posts one. Like 3 pins in this order. Pin 1 is a problem insight. Prove that you understand their pain. Pin 2 is process proof, the things you check before you recommend anything. Then we have pin 3, a diagnostic or a teardown, prove that you can spot what's broken. Sticking with the MathsPass example, for example, pin 1 can be something like MathsPass consultants go cold before booking. Then pin 2, the 5 things I checked before recommending an AI receptionist. Then pin 3, a simple missed call follow-up audit. So pin posts should act like a mini trust sequence. So problem, process, diagnosis. A cold prospect just goes through them and goes from who is this for to this person actually gets my situation. So that's the job of story highlights. So that's the job of story pins. Right now your pins are probably just your 3 most recent posts or whatever gets most likes. Like usually people just pin some post that has a lot of likes, but that's bad. Then we have layer 2 is your actual content. So the prospect question changes here. Now it's, does this person understand my problem and do they have a way of thinking about it? Before I give you the content types, you have to run this audit first. You can pause this video right here and seriously, like, pause it and just go through this audit. Open your last 10 posts, count how many of them are aimed at the person who would actually pay you. Not other builders, not tool fans, your future client. If at least 5 of them are not aimed at that person, you don't have a proof problem yet. You have a content angle problem. And that's actually a good news because a content angle problem is fixable this week, so it doesn't require anything. The reason most people fail this audit is like most of the content is base designed and it's just tool first. And tool first content that's based around the tools, about the AI hype, just really attracts builders, not clients. So watch the difference. Content based on the tool sounds something like this. I built AI for MathsPass, and this is for your ICP. MathsPass consultants go cold before the front desk ever replies. Then another one. This AI chatbot handles e-commerce support. Now this is for your ICP. Your support team is answering the same pre-purchase questions every day. And one last final example, here's an N88 workflow for real estate lead follow-up. This is for your ICP. Real estate teams don't always need more leads. They need fewer leads going cold after inquiry. So you get the point, like same knowledge underneath, but it's completely different door. One opens with your tool and the other one opens with their week, with what's actually going on in their business. And your process walks them through the second door, because the second door is about them. So what do you actually post? There are like 5 kind of content pieces that you should post to build trust when you have no case studies. I think of them as a trust pillars, not growth pillars, but trust pillars. So the goal is not to go like super viral, like we're not David Jaro here, we're not trying to go viral. The goal is that when the right person lands on the profile, they find what exactly you can do for them and they can build trust with you. So pillar 1 is problem insight. You describe their problem better than they can. Most med spas don't lose consultants because they lack leads. They lose them between inquiries, follow-up, booking, reminder, and no-show recovery. So someone reads through this and thinks like, that's basically what happened in my business recently. Then we have pillar 2, the process proof. You show here's a method behind it. Before I recommend an AA receptionist, I checked missed calls, inquiry response time, front desk follow-up, booking reminders, and no-show recovery. So no client need for that post. It's basically your checklist. It proves that you just don't install things and hope. Then pillar 3, diagnostic or teardown. You show you can spot what's broken. You do a public teardown, a hypothetical workflow audit. For example, all of this is fine as long as you label it as honestly. Here's an example. Here's an intake flow I would audit before adding AI to a law firm. That word would is doing the honest work in that sentence. Like you're not claiming a client, you're literally showing them how you think and what you think. Then we have pillar 4, objection handling. Answer the question prospects are afraid to ask before the call. So will this break? Will my team actually use it? Is this AI safe? What happens after it's get built? Every one of this is a post, and every one of them just answers something in the public before they even ask that question on a call. Pillar 5, founder judgment. This one, and this is the one that most people get wrong. Personality doesn't mean lifestyle content. Nobody hires you because you had a nice espresso, for example, or a nice body, or a nice car. Personality means human judgment. Why I don't recommend AI first, for example, or what I would never automate for a clinic, or why a messy workflow can make AI worse, not better. Options with reason, standards, and things you refuse to do. That's what makes a prospect feel like there is an actual person with a spine behind the offer. That's the layer. So problem insight, process proof, diagnostics, objections, and judgment. If your last 10 posts rotate throughout these 5 ideas, aimed at your prospect, your content is doing the case study work already. And layer 3 is the path between your content and a call. A prospect question here is, do I understand what this person does? And am I warm enough to take the next step? So 5 pieces, I'll keep each one tight. The first one is a deep trust video, a video with a ton of value. So we're not posting tool tutorials right here, but instead we provide a ton of value by breaking down a problem of your prospect. Like these examples, why med spa consultants go cold before the front desk replies, the 5 intake handoffs law firms should fix before using AI, why real estate leads go cold before automation helps. If you wonder why we're posting on YouTube as well, think of this. Like the short form content you post on your Instagram gets just eyeballs, gets you attention, right? And that's how people know about you. But those 10, 20 or even 30 minutes on a long form YouTube video will earn the entire trust for the prospect. 10-minute video with a skeptical prospect builds a kind of trust that 200 reels will never. You don't need like a channel, you need like one video and a half interested prospect that can watch a video and come out the other side actually understanding their own problem better, just because they watched your video. So that's the deepest trust you can build without any case study. Second, we have an offer explainer video. One calm video that walks through who is this for, what problem they have, the usual solution fails, how they approach it, how the process looks like, who is it not for, and what to do next. And the part who is it not for matters a lot. Like saying that you're not taking everyone as a client and saying who you don't fit is one of the fastest trust builders there is, because in the opposite of what a desperate seller would say. Third, a clear offer. And without this one, you won't be landing any people since you won't be talking to anyone. And here's the weak version. We're helping businesses implement AI, so it's super broad, it talks to everyone and provides no specific value to anyone. A better version would be, we helped MatsPause fix missed consultant follow-up by mapping their intake, booking, reminder, and no-show-up recovery handoffs. Then building AI-assisted systems around the parts that are repeatable. So the reality is that even if your offer is vague and not clear, your trust content will be vague as well. Because you can't write a sharp problem about a blurry offer. So sharpening the offer sharpens everything about it. Fourth, and I'll keep this as a brief, so here I'm not gonna explain how to improve your scene and click rate to get more clients with outreach. If you're doing cold DMs, outreach, sending looms, keep doing that because it's working. This tech is not a replacement for that, but please listen closely because this will seriously boost your outreach as well. It's the entire foundation for the outreach. So the path looks like this. Going from a cold loom or a DM, the prospect clicks on your profile. The bio makes it clear, the pinned post builds trust, the deep video explains properly, and a free next step warms them up. And the call starts warm instead of starting cold. So every step in the path is quietly doing the work of a case study without you having a case study. And the last thing, the fifth thing, the easy next step. Now you're probably thinking, why not just send some people straight to a call? And I get you. But if the only door your offer is book a call, you're asking a cold prospect for the most expensive thing they can give you. 30 minutes with a stranger. So you get the missed consultant checklist, you watch the intake audit, use the follow-up gap map, you make a breakdown, a small yes before the big yes, and people who will take a small step show up on the call already halfway convinced. And people who don't will never book a call with you anyway. Let's turn the whole thing into a checklist so you can run this week, and basically there are like 6 steps. Step 1, rewrite your bio, 4 lines, who you help, what problem you fix, how, and an easy next step. Then we have step 2, create your 3 pinned trust posts, problem insight, process proof, diagnostic. Pin them in that exact order. Then we have step 3, rebuild your highlights as a trust answers. So start here, problems I fix, how I diagnose, builds and breakdowns, next steps. Then step 4, audit your last 10 posts. If 5 or more aren't aimed at your prospect, you have to fix the angle before you worry about proof. Then we have step 5, make 1 deep trust video. So 1 prospect problem, 1 breakdown properly. Then we have step 6, add 1 easy next step at every single video. So the bio, the pin, the video description, every single piece of content needs a call to action. And notice what's not on this list. It's not posting every day, it's not going viral, not buying followers, waiting until you have a case study. None of these 6 steps require a client, a budget, or anyone's permission. So that's the whole point of the stack. It's pretty much built from what you already know. Now I want to be straight with you about what this doesn't do, because I'm not gonna pretend right here. This tech doesn't replace the case studies forever. The first time you get a real case study, document it properly with their permission and let it do the work, because real proof is still real proof. And I'm not promising that this gets you clients by Friday. Like, nobody can promise that, honestly. What the stack does, it stops you from standing still while you wait, because the alternative most people choose is wrong. They either show 0 social proof or they fake it, as I said. And the moment a prospect feels that stretch, all of it is worthless. Like, you don't need to fake anything, you need to answer the questions basically, and that's the whole idea. Now I put the whole system into something called no case study trust tech checklist, and it will walk you through like auditing your profile, your pinned posts, your content, and your prospect's path, so you can see exactly where the trust is breaking before the prospects ever reach out on a call. Like, it has bio templates, the highlight structure, the pinned post sequence, the last 10 posts audit, and the deep video template. And all of it is just in one place. It's linked in the description, so go check it out. And even if you never clicked on it, just take the one idea with you. Prospects were never asking for case studies. They were just asking questions. Case studies just happen to answer them. Answer them yourself. Starting today, just fix your bio. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole system. I'll see you in the next video.